Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about something that is on a lot of people's minds, and that is money. Not in a complicated way, not in a get-rich-quick kind of way, but in a simple, practical way. We are going to look at 10 different ways you can start bringing in some extra cash. These are things that you can begin doing today or this week without needing a fancy degree or a whole lot of money to get started. The world is changing, and the idea of having just one job for your whole life is becoming less and less common. More and more people are looking for ways to build a little bit of extra security for themselves and their families. It could be for paying off some bills, saving up for something special, or just having a bit of breathing room at the end of the month. So our goal today is to break these ideas down into very simple steps. We want to make sure that anyone, and I mean anyone, can understand these concepts and see if one of them might be a good fit for their own life. Before we get into the first idea, I have a quick question for you. What is one thing you would do with an extra $500 this month? You don't have to overthink it, just the first thing that pops into your head. Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you all would do with a little extra cash. Okay, let's get started. First up on our list is something that a huge number of people are already doing, and that is freelancing. Now, the word freelancing might sound a bit formal or complicated, but all it really means is that you are using a skill you already have to do work for different people or companies without being a full-time employee. You are your own boss. You get to choose the work you do, when you do it, and where you do it from. For a lot of people, that sounds like a dream, and it can be really great. So, what kind of skills are we talking about here? Well, almost anything you can think of. Are you good at writing? People and businesses all over the world need articles for their websites, emails to send to their customers, and all sorts of other written content. You don't need to be a world-famous author to do this. You just need to be able to write clearly and correctly. Maybe you are a very organized person. Well, there are busy people out there who will happily pay you to be their virtual assistant. This means you would help them with things like scheduling their appointments, answering their emails, or organizing their digital files, all from your own computer at home. Other popular freelance skills include graphic design, which is making logos or pictures for businesses. If you are good with social media, you could help small businesses manage their Facebook or Instagram pages. You could do voiceovers for videos if you have a clear speaking voice. The list is almost endless. The first step is to simply think about what you are already good at. What do your friends and family ask you for help with? Do you enjoy planning parties? Are you the go-to person for fixing computer problems? Can you draw? Take a piece of paper and write down everything you can think of that you are good at, no matter how small it seems. Once you have an idea of your skill, the next step is to find people who will pay you for it. There are many websites online that are built specifically for freelancers. Websites like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer.com are like big online markets where people who need work done can find people who have the skills to do it. You can create a profile for free, kind of like a resume, where you list your skills and maybe show some examples of your work. Then, you can start looking for jobs that people have posted. At the beginning, it can be a good idea to set your prices a little bit lower than others to help you get your first few jobs and build up some good reviews. Once you have a few happy clients, you can start to charge more. The beauty of freelancing is that you can start very small. You could just do 1 or 2 small jobs a week in your spare time, and as you get more comfortable, you can decide if you want to do more. It offers a ton of flexibility, which is perfect if you already have a main job or if you have kids at home. It's a real and practical way to turn a skill you already possess into actual money in your pocket. Our second idea for making some extra money is to sell things online. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You might think that you don't have anything to sell, but I would ask you to take a good look around your home. Most of us have a lot of stuff that we don't use anymore. Clothes that we haven't worn in years, old electronics sitting in a drawer, books we've already read, or even furniture that's just taking up space. All of that stuff could be turned into cash. Websites like eBay or Facebook Marketplace have made it incredibly easy to sell your used items. You just need to take a few clear pictures of the item, write a simple and honest description of what it is and what condition it's in, and set a price. For Facebook Marketplace, people in your local area can see your items and come to pick them up, so you don't even have to worry about shipping. For eBay, you can reach a much larger audience all over the country or even the world, but you will need to pack the items and mail them. This is a great way to not only make some money, but also to clean up your house and make some space. But maybe you don't want to sell your old stuff. Maybe you are a creative person. If you like to make things, you could open a shop on a website like Etsy. Etsy is a huge online marketplace for handmade and unique items. People sell everything you can imagine on there. Handmade jewelry, knitted scarves, custom paintings, personalized mugs, the list goes on and on. If you have a hobby like knitting, woodworking, painting, or making pottery, you could turn that hobby into a small business. You get to do something you enjoy, and you can make money from it. It's important to remember that when you're selling things you've made, you should price them fairly. Your price should cover the cost of your materials, but also the time and effort you put into making it. Don't sell yourself short. Another option for selling online is something called retail arbitrage. This sounds complicated, but the idea is very simple. You go to a store, like a big discount store or the clearance section of a regular store, and you look for items that are selling for a very low price. Then, you buy those items and you sell them online for a higher price on a platform like Amazon or eBay. For example, you might find a popular toy on clearance for $5, but you see that it's selling online for $25. So, you buy the toy, list it online, and if it sells, you've made a nice profit. This does require a bit more work because you have to go out and find the deals, but it can be a very profitable side business for some people. So, whether you are selling your old clutter, your own handmade creations, or deals you find in stores, selling online is a very accessible way to make some extra money. The third idea we're going to talk about is taking part in the gig economy. This is a term you have probably heard before, and it basically refers to doing short-term jobs or tasks for people through an app on your smartphone. The biggest advantage of this is the extreme flexibility. You literally turn on the app when you want to work, and you turn it off when you're done. There is no boss telling you when you have to be somewhere. You are completely in control of your schedule. Some of the most well-known examples of this are ride-sharing and food delivery. With companies like Uber or Lyft, if you have a decent car and a clean driving record, you can sign up to be a driver. Then, when you have some free time, you can turn on the app and you will start getting requests from people nearby who need a ride. You pick them up, drive them to where they need to go, and the payment is all handled through the app. It's very straightforward. Similarly, with food delivery apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, you can get paid to pick up food from restaurants and deliver it to people's homes. You can do this with a car, but in some cities, you can even use a bike or a scooter. This is a great option if you don't want to have strangers in your car, but you still want the flexibility of working whenever you want. But the gig economy is much more than just driving and delivering food. There are apps for all sorts of other tasks. For example, with an app like TaskRabbit, you can sign up to do all kinds of odd jobs for people in your area. This could be anything from assembling furniture that someone just bought, to doing handyman work like fixing a leaky faucet, to helping someone move heavy boxes, or even just standing in line for someone to buy the latest new phone. If you are a practical, hands-on person, this can be a fantastic way to make money. Another area is grocery shopping. Apps like Instacart and Shipt allow you to become a personal shopper. You get a grocery list from a customer on your phone, you go to the store and do the shopping for them, and then you deliver the groceries to their house. This is a huge help for busy people, parents with young children, or older folks who have trouble getting around. The pay for these gig economy jobs can vary. You are often paid per task, so the more rides you give or the more deliveries you make, the more money you will earn. There can also be peak times, like during lunch or dinner hours for food delivery, where you can earn more money or get bonuses. The key is to find the app and the type of work that best fits your skills and your schedule. If you have a car and some free time, this is one of the quickest ways to start earning extra money almost immediately. Now let's move on to our fourth idea, which is creating content. This one is a bit different from the others because it's usually not a way to make money overnight. This is more of a long-term project, but it has the potential to become a very significant source of income down the road. When we say creating content, we are talking about making things that people will find interesting, entertaining, or useful, and sharing it online. The most obvious example of this is starting a YouTube channel, just like the one you're watching right now. If you have a passion for something, anything at all, you can make videos about it. Maybe you love cooking, so you could make videos showing people how to cook your favorite recipes. Maybe you are an expert at a certain video game, so you could record yourself playing and share tips and tricks. You could make videos about gardening, fishing, car repair, makeup, or telling jokes. If you are interested in something, there is a very good chance that there are other people out there who are interested in it too. You don't need fancy equipment to start. The camera on your smartphone is probably good enough to begin with. The most important thing is to create videos that are helpful or entertaining. So, how do you make money from this? The main way is through advertising. Once your channel gets big enough, meaning you have enough subscribers and people watching your videos, YouTube will put ads on your videos and they will share a portion of that ad money with you. Another way to make money is through sponsorships, where a company will pay you to mention their product in your video. But again, this takes time. You might have to make a lot of videos for many months or even a year or more before you start to see any real money. Another popular form of content creation is blogging. A blog is just a website where you write articles about a certain topic. Just like with YouTube, it could be about anything you're passionate about. The way you make money from a blog is also similar. You can have ads on your website, or you can promote products and get a commission, which we'll talk more about later. To start a blog, you'll need to choose a name for your website and pay for a company to host it online, which usually isn't very expensive. Then you just start writing. A third option is podcasting. If you enjoy talking but you're not comfortable being on camera, you could start a podcast. This is like a radio show that people can download and listen to whenever they want. You could talk about news, interview interesting people, or just share your thoughts on a topic you know a lot about. You can make money from podcasts through ads and sponsorships as well. The key to success with any of these content creation methods is consistency. You need to be putting out new videos, new blog posts, or new podcast episodes on a regular basis to build an audience. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but if you enjoy the process of creating and sharing, it can be an incredibly rewarding journey both personally and financially. Some research has shown that a growing number of people are turning their creative hobbies into income, and it often leads to a greater sense of satisfaction with their work. Our fifth way to make extra money is through something called affiliate marketing. This is a very popular way to make money online, and you have almost certainly seen it in action without even realizing it. The basic idea is very simple. You promote a product or a service that is sold by another company. When someone clicks on your special link and then buys that product, you get a small payment called a commission. It's like being a salesperson for a company, but you can do it all from your computer. So, how does this work in the real world? Let's say you have a blog where you write about hiking. You could write an article reviewing a new pair of hiking boots that you really like. At the end of the article, you could include a special link to a website like Amazon where people can buy those boots. If someone reads your review, clicks on your link, and then buys the boots, Amazon will pay you a small percentage of that sale. You didn't have to create the boots, you don't have to store them in a warehouse, and you don't have to ship them to the customer. All you did was recommend a product that you genuinely like and use. This is why affiliate marketing works so well with content creation. Like we just talked about, if you have a YouTube channel, a blog, or even just a popular social media page, you can share affiliate links for products that are relevant to your audience. If your YouTube channel is about cooking, you can link to the pots, pans, and knives that you use in your videos. If your Instagram is about fashion, you can link to the clothes you are wearing in your pictures. To get started with affiliate marketing, you first need to join an affiliate program. Many large companies have their own programs. Amazon has one of the biggest and most popular ones, called Amazon Associates. It's free to join, and they sell almost everything imaginable, so you can almost certainly find products that are a good fit for you to promote. There are also other affiliate networks that work with thousands of different companies, so you can find all sorts of products and services to promote in one place. The most important thing with affiliate marketing is to be honest and trustworthy. You should only promote products that you actually believe in and think are good quality. If you start promoting junk just to make a quick buck, your audience will lose trust in you very quickly, and you won't be successful in the long run. People will click your links because they trust your recommendation. So be genuine, be helpful, and only share links to things that you think will actually benefit the people who are following you. It can take some time to build up an audience that trusts you, but once you do, affiliate marketing can be a great way to earn what is often called passive income. This means that you can make money even when you are not actively working, because people can be clicking on your links and buying things 24 hours a day. Let's talk about our sixth idea, which is selling digital products. A digital product is anything that you create and sell that exists only in a digital format. The customer buys it online and receives it by downloading it to their computer or phone. This is a really powerful business model because you create the product once and you can sell it over and over again an unlimited number of times. You don't have to worry about manufacturing, inventory, or shipping, which makes it a very attractive option for people who want to start a business with very little money. So, what kind of digital products can you create? There are many possibilities. One of the most common is an ebook. If you know a lot about a particular subject, you can write a short book about it and sell it online. It doesn't have to be a massive novel. It could be a simple guide on how to train a puppy, a collection of healthy recipes, or a manual on how to fix common computer problems. You can write it using a simple word processor, create a nice-looking cover using a free online tool, and then sell it on your own website or through a platform like Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Another very popular type of digital product is printables. These are digital files that people can buy, download, and then print out at home. This could be things like planners, calendars, checklists, budget trackers, or even wall art. People who are good at design can create these using simple software and then sell them on a marketplace like Etsy. A single printable design could be sold thousands of times to different customers all over the world. If you have a specific skill, you could also create an online course. This is a more involved digital product, but it can also be much more profitable. You could create a series of video lessons teaching people how to play the guitar, how to speak a new language, how to use a certain type of software, or how to start their own garden. You can host your course on your own website or use a platform that is specifically designed for online courses. Other ideas for digital products include things like stock photos, if you are a good photographer, music, if you are a musician, or even templates for things like resumes or social media posts. The first step is to think about what knowledge or skill you have that other people might find valuable. What is something that you could teach someone or help someone with? Once you have an idea, you can start small. Create one simple digital product and see if people are interested in it. The startup costs are extremely low, and the potential for it to grow into a real source of income is very high. It's a great example of working smarter, not just harder, because you are creating an asset that can work for you around the clock. Our seventh idea for making extra money involves something that many of us already have, and that is renting out your assets. An asset is just something valuable that you own. For many people, their biggest assets are their home and their car. A lot of the time, these things are just sitting there, not being used. Your car might be parked in the driveway all weekend, or you might have a spare bedroom in your house that is always empty. You can turn these unused assets into a source of income. Let's start with your home. If you have a spare bedroom, you could rent it out on a website like Airbnb. You can list your room for people who are traveling and need a place to stay for a night or a few days. You get to set the price per night, and you can choose which days your room is available. This can be a great way to make a significant amount of extra money, especially if you live in an area that is popular with tourists. You'll need to make sure the room is clean and tidy, and it's a good idea to provide some basic things like clean towels and sheets. But for many people, the income they earn is well worth the effort. If you don't have a spare room, you might still have other spaces you can rent out. Do you have an empty garage or a parking spot that you don't use? There are websites that allow you to rent these out to people who need a place to park their car or store their belongings. Now, let's talk about your car. For most people, their car sits parked for more than 90% of the time. During all that time, it's not making you any money. But with services like Turo or Getaround, you can rent your car out to other people when you're not using it. It's like Airbnb, but for cars. People who need a car for a short time can book your car through the app and you get paid for it. These companies provide insurance to protect you and your car, so it's a relatively safe process. This can be a great option if you work from home or if you have a second car that you don't use very often. Beyond your house and car, you can think about other things you own that other people might want to rent. Do you have expensive camera equipment, a set of power tools, or even a nice bicycle? There are websites and apps that allow you to rent out these kinds of items to people in your local community. It's a way to make money from the things you already have without having to sell them. It reduces waste, helps other people out, and puts some extra cash in your pocket. It's a win-win situation. Coming in at number 8 is an idea that can sometimes seem scary or complicated to a lot of people, and that is investing in the stock market. But I want to break this down in a very simple way. Investing doesn't have to be something that only rich people in fancy suits do. In fact, it is now easier and more accessible than it has ever been for regular people to start investing, even with a very small amount of money. So, what does it mean to invest in the stock market? When you buy a stock, you are buying a tiny little piece of a company. If that company does well and makes a lot of money, the value of your tiny piece can go up. If the company does poorly, the value of your piece can go down. The goal is to invest in good, strong companies that you believe will grow over a long period of time. Now, trying to pick individual stocks can be very difficult and risky, especially for a beginner. A much simpler and safer way to get started is to invest in something called an index fund or an ETF. These are fancy words for a very simple idea. Instead of buying a piece of just one company, an index fund allows you to buy a tiny piece of hundreds or even thousands of companies all at once. For example, you could buy a fund that tracks the S&P 500, which is a collection of 500 of the largest and most successful companies in America. By buying just one thing, this index fund, you are instantly spreading your money out across all of those companies. This is much safer because if one or two of those companies do poorly, it won't have a big impact on your overall investment because all the other companies will help to balance it out. So, how do you actually do this? You can open an investment account through an app on your phone in just a few minutes. Companies like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Charles Schwab are well known and trusted, and many of them have no minimum amount required to open an account. This means you could literally start with just $5 or $10. Many of these apps also allow you to buy what are called fractional shares. This means that if a stock is very expensive, say $1,000 per share, you don't have to have $1,000 to invest. You could buy just $10 worth of that stock, and you would own a small fraction of one share. The most important thing to remember with investing is that it is a long-term game. The stock market goes up and down every day, and you shouldn't panic when it goes down. The idea is to put money in regularly, even if it's just a small amount, and leave it there to grow for many years or even decades. Over long periods of time, the stock market has consistently gone up. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a slow and steady way to build real wealth over time. Our 9th idea is something that almost anyone can do from the comfort of their own couch, and that is participating in online surveys and micro-tasks. Now, let's be very clear about this one. This is not going to make you rich. You will not be able to quit your job by doing online surveys. However, it is an extremely easy and flexible way to make a little bit of extra pocket money during your spare time. If you are the kind of person who spends time scrolling on your phone while watching TV, you could be using that time to earn a few extra dollars. So, what are online surveys? There are many companies out there that are hired by big brands to do market research. These brands want to know what regular people think about their products, their advertisements, or their ideas for new products. So, these market research companies create websites and apps where they will pay you a small amount of money to answer questions and give your opinion. You might be asked about the type of soda you drink, the car you drive, or what you think of a new movie trailer. Websites like Swagbucks, Survey Junkie, or Inbox Dollars are popular platforms for this. You sign up for free, fill out some information about yourself so they can match you with relevant surveys, and then you can start answering questions. Each survey might take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to complete, and you might earn anywhere from 50 cents to a few dollars for each one. Again, it's not a lot of money, but if you do a few surveys every day, it can add up over the course of a month to enough to pay for a small bill or a few cups of coffee. Now, let's talk about microtasks. These are small, simple jobs that would take a human just a few seconds or minutes to do, but would be very difficult for a computer to do. A well-known platform for this is Amazon Mechanical Turk. Here, you can find all sorts of tiny tasks, which they call hits or human intelligence tasks. For example, a task might be to look at a picture and identify all the cars in it. Or you might have to listen to a short audio recording and type out what was said. Or you might be given a restaurant receipt and have to enter the name of the restaurant and the total amount into a form. Each of these tasks pays a very small amount of money, often just a few cents. The idea is that you can do a very large number of them very quickly. Just like with surveys, this is not a high-paying job, but it is something you can do whenever you have a few spare minutes, with no commitment required. It's a simple way to turn your idle time into a little bit of extra cash. Finally, our 10th idea for making some extra money is to teach or tutor a skill that you have. There is almost certainly something that you know how to do that other people would be willing to pay to learn. You do not need to be the world's foremost expert on a subject to teach it. You just need to know more than the person you are teaching. Think about what you are good at. Are you fluent in another language? You could tutor students who are trying to learn that language. There are many websites that connect language tutors with students all over the world. Do you know how to play a musical instrument like the piano or the guitar? You could offer lessons to children or adults in your local community, or you could even give lessons online over a video call. This allows you to teach people from anywhere. Maybe you are really good at a certain subject in school, like math or science. You could tutor students who are struggling in those subjects. Parents are often very willing to pay for a good tutor to help their children succeed in school. You can advertise your services at local community centers, libraries, or on local social media groups. But it doesn't have to be a traditional academic subject. Do you know how to knit? How to bake amazing cakes? How to use a certain kind of software on the computer? Or how to get in shape? You could teach these skills as well. You could hold a small workshop in your home or a local community space, or you could create an online course like we discussed earlier. The great thing about teaching or tutoring is that you are not just making money, you are also helping people. It can be very rewarding to see someone understand a concept or learn a new skill because of your help. To get started, you first need to identify your skill. Then, think about who would want to learn that skill. Are they children, university students, or adults? Once you know who your potential students are, you can figure out the best way to reach them. You can start small, maybe with just 1 or 2 students, and you can charge a reasonable hourly rate. As you gain more experience and get good reviews from your students, you can increase your price and take on more clients. This is a very fulfilling way to use the knowledge you already have to not only improve your own financial situation, but also to make a positive impact on the lives of others. So, there you have it. 10 different and practical ways that you can start building some extra streams of income. We've talked about using your skills to do freelance work, selling your stuff online, joining the gig economy for flexible tasks, creating your own content, promoting products through affiliate marketing, selling your own digital creations, renting out things you already own, getting started with long-term investing, earning pocket money with surveys, and teaching a skill you have to others. The main message here is that you have options. You don't have to rely on just one single paycheck. By starting one or even a few of these side hustles, you can create more financial stability for yourself and your family. Not all of these ideas will be a good fit for everyone, but hopefully at least one of them sparked some interest for you. The most important step is the first one, the decision to just get started. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more simple and practical videos like this one.